song in my head, but I can't figure out what it is. And so I'm just dancing because I have a song in my head and I can't figure out what it is. And it's like part of a Neil Diamond song. It's part of a Billy Joel song. It's like a little bit of Sweet Caroline, but that's not it. There's more. And I know I got a song in my head. Good morning. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. I forgot to write a couple things down of what I want to remember to tell you because you know I won't remember. Ha! I am well. Thank you, Belinda. I hope you are well too. So we want to talk about otters. We want to talk about DNA. We want to talk about the lady. What is that lady's name? Got it. All right, we'll give it just one more minute. All right, so I want to tell you. All right, so if you're feeling like a lot of people, and you know this is a big week in America. There was a lot of stuff going on. So I know a lot of people are feeling a little. A lot of people are feeling a little, yay! So there's a lot of things that were going on this week. Just gonna get a little bit of light going on. So this was a big week. This was a heavy week. There was a lot. But it is not just because there has been political because we don't want to do too much of that. But it's not just because of that. So this is from Yasmin Boland, who is the moonology expert. So she really is amazing, talking about the phases of the moon and how we manifest with the moon and all the different ways that we can incorporate moon energy into our lives. And so this is what she sent in her Monday message. So this is Yasmin Boland, and let me put it in the text so you can look at hello. So I'm going to share this from Yasmin Boland, and she's her podcast is called Mainly Moonology, and she's really marvelous. And she sent this in her Monday email. It says, the skies are a little bit all over the place right now. Now we know that there's been some really big movements with Saturn and Neptune and now Jupiter. And so she says, the skies are a little bit all over the place right now. We've just had a rather intense face-off of Face the Effing Music, she wrote. Jupiter and Saturn clashing, and now we're headed for Jupiter and Neptune to bang into each other as well. So they're not literally banging into each other, but they're coming into conjunction in the astrological charts. It says the best way to handle all of this is to try to relax as much as you can, and if you don't have to rush through something right now, don't. Clarity will come later for those with patience, okay? Now, I wanted to share that because, I wanted to share that because there's a lot of, so we've had the full moon, right? And now we're in the waning, so we may be feeling a little heavier, we may be feeling a little tired. But let me just say that Jupiter and Neptune and Saturn, these are some big heavy metal planets, and not like heavy metal. These are really big movers and shakers, right? We know Saturn is a real bully in our lives, can really be a thing of Saturn can really be one of those planets that's pushing us around and trying to make us to go in directions and do different things, and it is important that we are understanding that right now the next few days, I want to say really this week, until we get into Friday, Saturday, the next week, we really want to be thinking about this like it's the Mercury retrograde, right? We talk a lot about Mercury retrograde of just, relaxing through it, just allowing it to go, okay? Letting things unspool, unfurl, letting things happen, okay? So we have that to be able to go on. And so next week, a week from this Wednesday, so a little bit more than a week, we're going to have the next new moon, okay? So this is important that that we are having. And so let me make sure, okay. So Okay, so we have a little bit more than a week before we have the new moon. So this energy is going to come down. It's going to feel heavier, but there are some very big movers and shakers when we're talking about Saturn and Neptune and Jupiter all coming into, conjunctions, or they're at odds with each other. That's going to be a lot of energy moving for us. So let's make sure that we are protecting ourselves, okay? So that we are not, we're not trying to push through where the ride the wave is really the energy that we want to have at the moment, okay? So this is the same thing that we counsel with, I feel very discombobulated. This is the same thing we counsel with Mercury retrograde, right? We just want to ride the wave and allow things to come up for us for Mercury retrograde, because we know that during retrograde is the time that we are being brought to see things that we wouldn't necessarily see, or that we've been ignoring, or we've been creatively procrastinating. So right now, over these next 2 days, just ride the wave. Let things go. Whatever's coming up for you, make a note of it. Boundaries are going to be important, and so I applaud a couple of people I was working with. They're like, nope, that's not going to work for me right now. I'm going to not do this now. I'm going to do it later. And that's really what we want. We want to have those boundaries so that we are really protecting our space, protecting our energy, because when we try to push against, it's like pushing against a brick wall. So it's not really our strongest position right now. So we just want to allow, we're going to go forward, and it's all going to be okay. All right, it's all going to be okay. Now, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you about otters. I want to talk to you about otters. So I'm going to look in the book. So this is Stephen Farmer's. I love Stephen Farmer's spirit animals, and so this is otters. So some of you may know here in Florida, we have manatees where I live in. We have manatees in a lot of different areas in Florida. And one of the things that I do is I volunteer with the Manatee Rescue Program, Save the Manatees, different organizations that are part of the Manatee Rescue Program. And I teach about manatees, and I also volunteer my time out in the river at one of our state parks where manatees are very, very often present, pretty much every single day of the year at this point. And I am a manatee observer, and my job is to protect the manatees when they come into the water, when in the summer they will encounter canoers and kayakers and scuba divers and swimmers, and most of the time the people are thrilled to see a manatee swim by. Urgent block ban immediately after the, okay, great. You can report it if you see another, because my cousin did mention there was somebody else faking me today, so you can block this person also. Look, you all, if you ever see somebody that's faking my page, that is trying to act like they're me, please don't hesitate to block them, report them before blocking, because we're always trying to fight the spammers, and the people are always, coming in. So I consider it's because they're jealous of our community of light. So, but if you see somebody that's faking my page, please do report them, and I really do appreciate that, because that helps all of us. Because these people are going to, send you messages and try to get you to pay them, and that's not what we do here. If you want an appointment with me, you know how to get one. You ask me for one. Okay, we're not trying to ever solicit you. Okay, so the manatees. So yesterday, this one little girl, people usually are very thrilled. Thank you, Chris, for looking out for me. I really appreciate it. So most people are thrilled to have a manatee encounter, whether they see one, people have never seen one. They come from all over the world to go to this park. And this one poor little girl in the inner tube just lost her mind. She was flipping out, completely crying. And I'm like, look, they're vegetarians. They don't have front teeth. They can't bite you. It's not going to hurt you. It's like a big dog. She didn't want to hear it. She was crying. I felt terrible. But everybody around her was enjoying the manatee. So usually that's my job, is to protect the manatees from the humans, but part of my job is also dealing with other wildlife, sometimes alligators, thankfully not so much yesterday. But yesterday was very much about otters. So there are otters that have moved back into the springs, which is great, while the reconstruction efforts are now done. But this otter in particular was being very, he wasn't being nosy with the people, but the people were very much where he wanted to be. And so he was coming very, very close to the people and trying to eat his snails and fish and all the things. So I had to laugh, because I said, I need to check out the spirit animal message of otters, because everything's going on in the universe right now. You're using the wrong punctuation, LOL. That actually, Yasmin, her name is Yasmin Bolin. That's actually you up there. Oh, oh my gosh, you're hilarious. Yes, it was me. I was putting her name in. Oh my God, you're hilarious. Thank you for looking out for me. Okay, so otters with all this stuff going on in the, I see it's very discombobulated right now because this is what's going on with the planets, okay? There's all this different stuff is swirling around and you can see it playing out in front of you in real time. So otters, so part of my job yesterday was to protect the people because while the otters, this was a big otter, and while they're so cute, they're not nice. They're just, you know, they're nice to each other, but they're not great with humans, and they do bite, and they have really, it was funny, I was having a blast yesterday because I was saying to anybody who was asking me, I said, they have the sharp, gnashy, pointy teeth, and if you're a Monty Python fan, you know exactly what that means, and so I was enjoying the people who got the joke and the people who didn't get the joke. So anyway, there was this big, beautiful otter, but we, of course, don't want anyone to get bitten by an otter in the state park, and I thought, I understand the reality of the otter, but the otter has suddenly made himself known in a very public place, which otters are usually very reclusive. And with everything that's going on in the universe with the planets right now and everything that's shifting on the ground globally, I said there's got to be something more going on with otters. So I'm going to look this up. I'm going to look in Stephen Farmer's Animal Spirit books. We love Stephen Farmer. And I said, what is it that's going on with otters? So here's what he has to say about otters. Very long story to get to this point, right? It's time to relax. Now remember what I said a couple minutes ago about Saturn and Neptune and Jupiter, that we've got to ride the wave, right? So here's what it says about otters. It's time to relax and be more playful, spontaneous, and creative. Clean up that area in your home that needs organizing. Whatever struggles you're up against right now, confront them head on with courage, determination, and tenacity. Make your family a top priority at this time. You're going to experience a surge of energy and vitality. Now, this is great news. However, we want to make sure that we're putting this, when we layer this over the top of Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter, all running into each other, we want to make sure that we are using discernment and discretion, and while we are having a surge of creativity, cleaning up places that need to be reorganized, focusing on our family, our home life, bringing in fun and creativity, we're not overdoing it. We're rolling with it. We're going with the flow, right? And we're allowing that the universe is going to carry us along for the next few days, just a couple days. And so as we do this, we have this opportunity now for the otter to take a minute to say, what do I need to look at that needs cleaning up or organizing? Where do I need to prioritize my family? So when we get into Thursday or so of this week, we're going to be ready to be like, okay, it's time for the weekend. Let's have some fun. Let's, now we know what the plan is. We're ready to go forward. Okay, so we want to layer the two things over each other so that we're not just saying, oh, well, the otter says one thing and the universe says the other things. No, all things work together. Okay, so we're looking at this and we're saying, okay, we want to let the universe carry us. We don't want to stress out about stuff right now. We want to allow things to unfold, and at the same time, we want to have a little playful curiosity, a little joy. It's okay to bring in joy. I know there is a lot that is going on in the world right now. It is a hard, heavy time, and we're not ever trying to discount that or bypass it at all. But one of the things I tell my grief clients constantly is, while we may be in the midst of serious, heavy, consuming grief, it's okay to laugh. It's okay to allow joy. And that is one of the things that happens when we are dealing with things that are heavy. We can feel like we're doing something wrong if we're allowing fun and creativity and precociousness and frivolity to be part of it. It's like people will laugh in grief and they'll say, oh no, I shouldn't be laughing. Yes, of course, you absolutely should be laughing. We must grab onto and cherish the moments of joy and laughter and giddiness as they come, because we don't know what tomorrow brings. So while we are allowing the stuff in the skies to play out, we want to make sure that we are looking at around our own space, right? We got to clean up our own space before we clean up anybody else's, right? So we're cleaning up our own space, that we are looking at what needs to be organized or reorganized. How do we want to connect with family? I hope everyone who has fathers or is fathers anywhere that you are have a marvelous Father's Day this weekend. And so we're cleaning up our own space. We're looking at our own priorities so that once this planetarial storm passes, this disruption, we're ready for a week from Wednesday into the new moon. So taking stock now is perfectly timed for us to be able to swing into our outer energy in the next, after Thursday. All right? Now, but how do we do that? So if you were here last week, my DNA class is live. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited. I have been teaching about unspooling your DNA for years and years and years, and now it is in a class where it is available to everyone, because this has been stuff that's been taught at either churches or organizations, or it's been taught to Mary Kay consultants. It's not something that was available to the general public, and so now it is. And so I am so pleased and excited to be able to share the Unspooling Your DNA class, the Unspooling Your DNA work playbook, and then there's a bonus gift in there as well, and I'm so absolutely thrilled. And so I want to just take a second and just share this with you a little bit. If you hang out with me on Mondays, you've heard me talking about it. It's live on my website. You can go to my personal website, SherryDworkin-Smith.com. You can go to SherryDworkin-SmithLearn.com. Easy to find it. And really inexpensive. The class is $30, and you can get the playbook for $20. But here's the thing. There is literal science behind how our DNA, the physical DNA, it is literally unspools and spools, got my slinky, it literally elongates and contracts based on our emotions. I mean, who knows that stuff? But we literally, our body, our DNA, the building blocks of our universe is doing this based on our emotions. And learning how this works and why this works and what this is about is a very, thank you Chris Judd, is a very key component to our ability to manifest things with the universe. So if you are somebody who has been struggling with I keep asking the universe for my stuff, how come it's not working? You might be missing this very key critical missing piece because you're not connecting with the universe with all, literally I'm going to say this, all the fabric of your being. And so when we can incorporate, y'all know we have something like, 32 billion with a B, billion miles of DNA inside our body. That's a lot of DNA. Okay, when we start to use our DNA as a tool to manifest with the universe, that is a whole other ballgame. So definitely check out the class. It's very inexpensive. I really wanted to make it inexpensive because I wanted to make it eligible, available for everyone. I did not want cost to be a factor with this, because imagine what happens. Imagine what happens in our world, in our planet, if every person really understood that they had the power to manifest the life that they want. Now, is it going to turn on a dime? No. I've been trying to manifest a new job for my son for a month. It is not happening. Now, it's not happening because A, I'm the one doing it. I can't manifest something for somebody else. 2, there's not the right timing for him, okay? And I don't know, because I'm not him, what the pieces that have to fall into place for him to get the next perfect step for him, but I believe that it will happen because I believe in the power of the universe. So imagine what happens to our world if, let's say, even 80% of the people on the planet knew how to unspool their DNA and create and manifest in their lives what they wanted. What happens to war and famine and poverty and addiction and depression and gun violence if people on the planet are actually able to ask for and receive what it is that they truly want to make their lives a better way? That changes everything. So I did not want this to be a high expensive class. I wanted it to be very inexpensive. I want it to be available for everybody. So that's what's going on there. And Chris Judd has posted the link. Thank you, thank you. Learn about unspooling your DNA at SherryDworkin-Smith.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are going to do that. All right, so let's check in with Kyle Gray likes to say, it's your boy Kyle Gray. So let's check in with our boy Kyle Gray of the Archangels and see which Archangel is hanging out with us today, this week, and who's going to be help guiding us this week, because that's important. And see what's going on there. And then we're going to move into our oracle cards for the week. We'll do oracle cards for everybody, and then we'll do oracle cards for individuals, okay? And so, yay, if you're new, welcome, 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 and like that. So we've got, this is Uriel. Oh, isn't this This is, isn't this so marvelous? So this is Uriel. Uriel, very yellow archangel. In Uriel, it says learning experience. Now, were we not just talking about all that? This is a time of a learning experience. Take time to review, study, and hone your knowledge before proceeding further. Now, this literally goes right along with what we were just talking about with the otters, about getting stuff organized, figuring out what needs to be cleaned up and where your priorities are. This is, and then we were talking about the unspooling your DNA. And so this is literally, it says take time to review, study, and hone your knowledge before proceeding further. So, everybody better go get my class because y'all need some knowledge before you're proceeding further. I love that. And you all know how we believe that the universe, the cards in the universe is listening to our conversations, so that the cards are always, you hear me say this, like little eavesdroppers, right? They are always those little eavesdroppers. All right, we're going to jump into the Wisdom of the Oracle cards, and we're going to pull 3 cards, maybe 4, for the thank you, Chris Judd. Chris Judd is the most awesome content manager on the planet. In case if you were wondering why she's the one who's always answering the questions, she is my backup, my back office person. I really appreciate and value and love her to bits and pieces, or as she likes to say, I love her guts, because she always tells me she loves my guts. All right. I think you got to love a person a lot if you're going to love all their guts. So, all right, so we're going to pull 3, maybe 4 cards for the collective. This is information that everyone can use this week, and then we will do individual cards after that. Okay, so we were talking about otters. We've got Uriel talking about that's right. Well, and so here's my cousin Jerry, who I love and adore. So very interesting, because most of the archangels, actually their names are found in the Old Testament. So, and my cousin Jerry is very wise and learned in things of that nature. So, very much. So, we've got our 3. Actually, Jerry, you're going to love that. Well, I suppose, Chris, that's true. If you're going to hate someone's guts, I mean, it's a lot of energy to hate somebody's guts, but I think loving their guts is much better. All right, so we have, first of all, what's going on that we need to know about, like in the greater, like the bigger picture. So this comes now, this is very interesting, because we had this card as one of the main collective cards last week. This is No Peace Like Home. Now, I'm going to show this in a second, because first I want to just start with the fact that the card is upside down. Now, I think that when we had this last week, it was right side up, but No Peace Like Home is card 50, so numerologically, we're right in the middle of the road, right? We're right in the middle of the path. We're right in the middle of, are we going left? Are we going right? But when it's upside down, okay, it reminds us, and I'm going to show you the little tree house, okay? So when it's upside down, it's reminding us that it is safe, that we are safe and comfortable when it's up right side up, okay? So when we're upside down, it says this is the time for us to step out of our comfort zone. And so we talked about this last week, that this is really much the time for us to be stepping out into new spaces, which is very interesting. We put this with the otter, right? Cleaning up things and rearranging our priorities, knowing that the big heavy hitter planets are moving and shifting things around right now, which is when people are getting ready to start new projects or move into new chapters. And then Uriel is saying, hey, it's a learning time. It's a learning time. And so here we have the No Peace Like Home upside down that says it is time for you to step out of your comfort zone. Okay, now I do want to remind you in this is you've got this beautiful cloudscape. Okay, the treehouse is up. It's on one of those little bird feeder hooks, but it is safe. There's nothing around it. There's nothing else that it needs to worry about, and you've got a beautiful sunrise, sunset, however you choose to interpret it. But look how the light is shining, not just on the treehouse, but it's as if the light is emanating from the treehouse, which tells us that we are safe and that we are okay, but we are still upside down, which means it's important for us to be looking at how we are stretching our wings and taking on new responsibilities, new chapters, new learning experiences, and how we are going to be going forward. Because remember, this card is 50, which is 5, middle of the road. Okay, we're right in the middle of the chapter. We're right in the middle of the story, and it's up to us whether we want to go, like, remember those old video games where you could choose what the wizard did next? Okay, we could go this way, we could go that way. So this is where we are right now. So what else do we need to know about this right now in this moment? And this is upside down also, and this is here and now. This is very, very interesting. So this is the here and now card, but the here and now card also upside down is card 32. 3 and 2, that's 5. So we are still being reminded that we have important decisions to make about how we go forward in our future. How do we go forward? Are you seeking a new job? Are you seeking a change in location, relationship? This is not the time to make the leap, but this is the time to be giving some really significant thought to what it is you want. because this is telling us, 5 and 5 is telling us that we are really in the middle of the road, and it is time for us to decide what it is that we want. Now, if only there was a $30 online class that was only an hour that you could take that would help you figure out what it is that you wanted. Oh my goodness, unspool your DNA. Little plug. All right, so this is the Here and Now card, which is upside down. And Here and Now, again, we have this same imagery of a house that's floating in midair, surrounded by nothing but a beautiful cloud, little sunny. This is not storm clouds. These are not storm clouds. And we can see that out in the horizon is just peaceful. And she's sitting on top. She's like, I got this. We're okay, right? But this is still 5. Now, when the Here and Now card reminds us to be present. Be present in the moment. Be present for what is going on, and to honor the things that we're feeling. If we're feeling good, yay. If we're feeling negatively, that's okay. But honor it. Same thing that we talked about before, where we said it is okay to feel joy even in times of sorrow. We honor what we're feeling. We don't bash ourselves or negate our feelings. We honor what we're feeling. And the Here and Now card reminds us that our feelings are valid regardless of how someone else is feeling around us. And when we're upside down, this card says, hey, listen, don't try to push out what you're feeling. Let it be in you. Feel it and absorb it and honor it, right? So the Here and Now card being upside down says, hey, you've got to be centered. Come see how she's sitting centered on the top of the egg. She's even in a little lotus pose, right? She's sitting being centered. And it reminds us that as we're trying to figure stuff out, it's really important we come back to our center, come back to our heart. What is it that's in our heart that we want most of all, right? So this is this time to figure stuff out. Now, what do we need to be aware of as we're going forward? Like, where's the hiccups? And so this one, actually, oh, interesting. This one is right side up, so that's a good thing. This is a leg up, and this is 34. So 4, 5, 6, 7. I just want to make sure, because last week I got a really simple math wrong. So 5, 6, 7. So this is moving in a progression of going forward, but this is leg up. And this reminds us that it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to partner up with someone who knows more than you. It is okay to ask for help. It is okay to say, and I got a bruise on my shoulder because I did not take my own, I wasn't listening to the cards. I picked up a kayak. I should have asked for somebody to help me with it, and I pushed it up, and it was fine. I mean, I did it, but I could have asked for help. And we get in our head, I can do it. And then we don't ask for help, and it is okay. Sometimes, even if we don't need to ask for help, it is still okay to ask for help. When we ask someone else to be a blessing in our lives, to come in and contribute, we're trusting them, we're honoring them, and we're also letting them know that they are valued, that they are important, that they are able to contribute, and that their contribution is important. Okay, when we just ignore somebody, we ask them for help, we're asking them, we say, I value you, I'm asking you to come and join me on this journey, okay? So when we ask for a leg up, it's not a weakness. It is absolutely a strength, and it is absolutely honoring the others around us, okay? So having a leg up, people are wanting to help. I think if you look, there's a lot of noise. We talk about this a lot. There's so much noise in the world right now. But you can look how Mr. Rogers would always say, look for the helpers, right? There are so many places and people that are wanting and trying to help. We might have to look a little harder, but asking and honoring them is not a sign of weakness. It is absolutely a sign of strength. So here we have Uriel, who's reminding us that it is time for us to learn something new. We have these major planets that are moving around that are wanting to push us out of the comfort zone. We have the Otter, who's telling us that this is a time to clean up the places we're disorganized and reorganize our priorities a little bit, putting our family front and center if possible, and remember healthy boundaries, right? And also, then we have, that came right first thing, is the No Peace Like Home was upside down that says it's time to come out of our comfort zone. And this is the number 5 card, followed immediately by the Here and Now card that says pay attention to what's going on right now. Also a 5 card. And this goes right in with what we were talking about with all these big planets, power, heavy hitter planets moving around, that we want to just roll with this right now. The Otter is reminding us to get ready, to get organized, start looking at what it is that we want. So as we come to next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday for the new moon, we're able to say, hey, this is time for us. We're ready when it comes time for setting those new intentions, which is next Wednesday in the new moon. So this is reminding us, the here and now, to be present for what is coming up for us right now, right? That's what's coming up. We're allowing the planets to bring these things, just like in a Mercury retrograde, to bring these things up for us. And then we're reminding ourselves that it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to lean into others. It is okay to work in community, in partnership, because we are so much more powerful when we're together, that when we light our light and we share that light with someone else, we are not dimming our light in any way. We are simply adding to the light. Okay, so that is really important. And then we're going to, and I see Krista, when we get into the individual cards, we'll pull a card for you on your question, of course. And now we're going to pull from our Malachim cards. Malachim is the Hebrew word for angels. And so these are Israeli angel cards, which I absolutely adore. These are written in Hebrew, English, and Arabic. Chris says one app she's been using to replace doom scrolling is Kinu. Bite-sized lessons, approximately 1 billion topics, diving into the science of nutrition. There's another one too. There's an app called Uptime. I'm on there, but it was too convoluted to continue being a contributor. But they have bite-sized learning module things, very little quick bites of information that you can learn about a bazillion different topics as well. All right, so Kinu and Uptime. Malachim, Israeli angel cards. And so the Israeli angel cards are different from our oracle cards. They are really conceptual, and so we pick two. And these are things for us to keep in mind that we lay over top of what has already been shared. And so here's something that is very, very, I find they're just fascinating, because the first card that comes is growth. And let me see. Smicha, I'm going to say smicha, and Jerry can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to say smicha, and this is growth, which goes right into everything that we've been talking about. So this reminds us, and again, these lay over top of the oracle cards that are conceptual ideas for us to keep in mind. It says this is a time of growth. So growing is not easy. Growing, when you think of the little seed that you plant, and it's or a little seed, sapling you've got to plant, it's got to push down into the dirt to make its roots get in there, and then it's got to push up to make its green parts come up. Okay, so growth is not easy. So this is a real acknowledgement that A, we're in the right place at the right time, but B, it's not easy. Okay, it's not easy. Now I cannot read Arabic, so I do apologize for that. The other is sincerity. This is sincerity. Okay, let me see if I can read this one. Chanut. I'm going to go with chanut. I might be wrong. My Hebrew without vowels is, what do they say? Bissel. But that might be Yiddish, which is like, okay. So but we're going to say chanut. And as I say, my cousin Jerry, and also we have some other folks who speak Hebrew better than I do. But this is sincerity. And this reminds us that where we are right now, allowing things to be unfolded and to be shown to us with the heavy hitters of the planets moving, that this is a time for us to really tap into what is it that you want? Where are you going? What is it you are trying to create in your life? Because this is, Beth Boyd got growth today also. So your confirmation, Beth, that this is a word that is really this idea. This is a time of growth for all of us, right? And here's the other thing. If you've been following me for a while also, you probably have heard me talk about the K-Newt. Okay, my cousin, the Cantor, says K-Newt for sincerity. Thank you, my darling. Okay, so if you've been following me for a while, you probably have heard my theory of humanity's evolution through the chakras and how we are in the throat chakra, the time of the voice right now, and how we've been here for a while and we're going to be here for a while longer. And so here we are with K-Newt, and here, Jerry, smicha? Growth? Smicha? Okay, I think. So here we are with growth and sincerity that is really talking about expanding ourselves, evolving ourselves, allowing ourselves to free the voice, to say what we really want, to be able to grow, to be able to move to the next levels. And now we have Arabic translations, right? We have Numun and Aliklas in Arabic. Fantastic. I love our multicultural time together. All right, so very much a time of getting connected to self And yay, speak off. Okay, and getting connected to self and getting, when I get it right, it brings me lots of joy. And getting connected to what it is that we really want, and knowing that growth is not easy, but this is a time of soul expansion for all of us. Because that's what happens when heavy hitter planets are moving around. It becomes a time of soul expansion, whether you like it or not. So it is best for all of us to A, ride the wave, let things continue to evolve, and B, just know that it is always for our highest and best good. Growth is not easy. Expansion is not easy, but it is for our best good. And when we can get in the bus and go along with it, or in this case, ride the wave, get in the boat, and roll along with it, we will go much further, faster, smoother, and with those who are in alignment with our direction are going to be automatically called and attracted to us, so that we will have those folks to ask for the leg up, because they're going to be right there on the same journey. Okay? All right, let's take a big breath. We'll shake out some of that. I'm going to get a little sip of water. Now is the moment you've been waiting for. Go ahead and put in the comments. If you would like to have a card reading individual for yourself, please put that in the comments. You do not need to ask me your question, just the cards know what it is. You please only put your comment, one card for me, whatever you want to write, one time, please, because the place where I can see the comments is quite small, and if you write it 6 times, you block out somebody else. Okay, so if you would like to have an individual card reading, now is the time. Okay. All right. Hello, hello, hello. This is where I know where all our lurkers are, where all the people who show up and are not saying hi, and that's okay, because that cracks me up. Now I know you're all here. Hello. Okay. So we go in first come, first serve. So we go in the order of the comments. Please do keep in mind that the comments may not be in the order that you see them, but we go in the order that I see them, and we will try to get to everybody. Okay. All right. So we have Belinda is first. Belinda, this is Yang, and we saw this card last week too. This is the feminine energy. Belinda, this reminds you that you have all the power, okay? You have all the power that you need. This is a time for you to go forward, okay? This is very much a yes card, okay? This is feminine divine energy. This says you are literally holding the fire and the power in the palm of your hand, and it is time and safe for you to be able to access it. So as you are continuing to go forward, this is a very much a yes card, Belinda. So you've got to be clear about what it is that you want, but the thing that you are wanting is waiting, literally waiting for you just in your hand, okay? So that's for Belinda. We have Chris Judd. Okay. Hello, hello. And we have Chris Judd. Chris Judd, upside down card. This is time for a nap. Now that cracks me up because Chris and I were talking a little bit earlier today, and that was something that I had a thought about. So this just cracks me up. So this is card 24. So sorry, Belinda. The Yang card is card number 1. So new adventures, go, go. But Chris, this card, time for a nap, is 24. Okay, this is card 24. And this is a real affirmation card about putting boundaries in place and making sure that you're prioritizing your self-care and your self-wellness. But this is also about taking the power back. And this is also making sure that you are dreaming bigger. Okay, so time for a nap, because the nap time, think about kids on a summer vacation. The nap time, the summer vacation is where the kids grow, right? If you've ever have seen kids that maybe you didn't see them at the end of in May, and then you see them in September and it seems like they've grown 5 inches, it's because they rested. They were resting. They were filling up their cups, right? They were doing the things that brought them joy rather than homework and all of that stuff. Okay, so when we rest, we regenerate, and when we rest, our mind, our soul, our higher guidance, our brains, all those things can come together and say, where am I going? What is it that I want? And so this says, hey, this is time for you to rest and rejuvenate, because it's time for you to dream bigger. Okay, so this is a 6 card, Chris. So past that middle of the road, you've decided where you want to go, and now it's time for you to be believing in the expansion that it is coming to you. Okay, so this is where we are. Okay, time for a nap is not about putting our feet up and having doing nothing. Okay, time for a nap is very much about the opposite. Time for a nap is about organizing our thoughts, allowing things to percolate and come into the right order, so that we are rested and rejuvenated to go forward. Okay, all right, Kimmy Smith. Upside down, Kimmy Smith, soulmates. 41, also 5 cards, so another middle of the road card. Kimmy Smith, soulmates, soulmates upside down. This is a real reminder that soulmates are not necessarily in the pair, bond, romantic situation. Soulmates can be so many other things, but it is about not making something into, trying to make something into something that it isn't. It's seeing a situation for the truth of the situation, but it also is reminding you that, so I'm going to turn it right side up so you can see, because the wisdom, the discernment, the higher guidance is hiding in the clouds. When we get blinded by the things that we want to see, where we put our little rose-colored goggles on and we're not looking at the situation for the truth of what it is, we are hiding the wisdom and the discernment in the clouds, okay? So when we turn this right side up, when we have it upside down, we're not really seeing the situation for what it is. So who is it that's close to you or trying to be close to you or trying to, maybe it feels like there's some manipulation that's in there, Kimmy? And so this is a place for you to, again, to take back your power back, but to zoom out a little bit and say, how do I see this situation for the truth of what it is? And you may also, we're going to go back to that leg up card as well, because they're calling me into that one, Kimmy, that this is also a time for you to say to somebody else, like, hey, can I get your read on this situation as well, okay? So that you are able to get a real accurate take on the situation, which may not be in your own brain. You may need to get some different perspective about it, and that's not a bad thing, okay? Because we want to turn this right side up and say, okay, sometimes our soulmates, because soulmates are here like twin flames to teach us things, and so who is it that's really like may being like an irksome person in your world? They may be trying to show you something that you're missing, okay? So we want to allow, irksome is not, I know it's annoying, but irksome is not necessarily bad. Okay? It's really trying to get you to pay attention to what the universe is trying to get you to see. Okay? So the universe and your spirit guides, etc., will put something irksome or someone who's been tasked with being irksome in your way to help get you to see something from a different perspective, Kimmy. Okay? So this is talking about not trying to make something into something it's not. Okay? Ellen Jane. Ellen Jane. Clean it up. So this is card number 3. Clean it up, Ellen Jane. So this is reminding you to stay on your own side of the street, my friend. This is reminding you to, with all my love, because I know, we go back, mind your own business, okay? This is reminding you that you've got to keep your own energy clean. This reminds you that you can be out, be involved, you can do all the wonderful things, but you want to make sure that you are energetically cleansing, you are grounding yourself, you are maybe taking a salt bath, a little lavender, but that you are making sure that you're taking care of yourself and that you're cleaning up your own side of the street, because it can be very, very draining if we're trying to clean up everybody else's mess. This is reminding you that it's important that you are doing the things that are your work. There's a saying we have in my family that we have 3 mantras that we live by in this family, okay? One is, if you don't ask, the answer is no. That's the big one, okay? The other is, do the work you've been given. And the third one is, first you go, and then you'll see. Because we don't know what's going to happen until we show up for something, right? But do the work that you've been given, because the universe is aligned to put you in a place where you are right now so that you will be able to do the thing that is going to move the cogs of the universe so that you get the next thing, and the other person who cogs aligned with you is going to get the next thing. And so showing up and doing the work that you've been given is super important, because that's how you move the cogs of the universe. If you're over there trying to do somebody else's work, you're moving their cogs. And that might totally throw your cogs off. So this is reminding you to stay in your lane with lots of love and affection. And it's also reminding you that there's plenty of things in this time of growth and expansion for you to be focusing on that are from your heart. Remember, we had growth and sincerity in our Hebrew, in our Malachim cards, right? We have growth and sincerity. So this is reminding you, Ellen, to stay in your own lane and to focus on what is it that you want from the truth of your heart. Because when you are doing the work that you are given, you are showing up in a way that's going to help move the cogs for yourself, which are going to help move other people's cogs as well. If you are familiar with like the cogs of the universe and how gears go together, if your gear is stuck, so is everybody else's, okay? So Ellen, it becomes really important for you to be doing the work that you are given. Okay, makes sense? All right, Kimmy, you are so welcome. So welcome. All right, so we've got Catherine Johnston. Absolutely. And then we've got Steve, and then Steven, my apologies, and then we've got, I believe, my cousin Jerry. Nope, we've got, keep going. All right, Catherine. All right, Catherine. Oh, I got a jumper card. Catherine, I got a jumper card. This is not for you, card number 6. Catherine, this is not for you. And, well, this card is for you, Catherine, but it is called not for you. It is number 6. It again says we're moving in a direction, we've made a direction, but again, we want to stay in our own lane. Okay, so with this, it is reminding you that what is meant for you is not going to pass you by. And if you were listening when I said before how we stay in this alignment, that we are literally on that vibrational path, that we are going to attract others who are on the same vibrational path, because it's like a magnet. When we are going forward and we're in our lane and we're in our zone, we're no, 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 and somebody else who is going no, 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 no is not going to hear you, but somebody who's going no, 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 no is going to be like, hey, no, 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 and we're going to align, okay? So Catherine, this card is very much about having faith in the universe and knowing that what is for you is not going to go past you. So you don't have to worry about what's not for you. You can trust that the things that are yours will come. Okay, so this is a card about patience too, which is, how much we all love that one, right? So this is a card about patience. It's trusting the universe, and it is right side up, and it is a 6. So it's telling you you're over the hump, right? Because we talk about it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the top, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay? So you're over the hump. You're going in the right direction. The universe is working on your behalf, but this is a card very much about trust, okay? All right, Stephen. Stephen. Okay. And we've got, this is upside down. And so with Stephen, we have you. You're welcome, Catherine. You're welcome, Ellen. You're so welcome. You are all very welcome. All right. I always like to scroll down and make sure there's not some kind of spammer sneaking in. Steve, this is poised, but it is upside down, my friend. And so this card is 48. So 8, 9, 10, 11, no. 48, 49, 50, 52. Okay, 52. So 52, 5 and 2 is 7. Okay, so still moving in the right direction. So, right, 5, 6, 7, we're still moving in the right direction. But this is upside down, Steve. So this is poised. So poised is when we're ready to leap into action. And when we're upside down, it says, okay, hang on a second. Everything is not, like all the cogs are not moved in yet. That's interesting. All the cogs are not moved in yet. There might be some hiccups, but it's okay because this is going to be for your benefit, okay? So things are not quite finished lining up yet, and we want, again, patience, okay, with this, but poised is telling us to just take a breath, take a pause, okay, that things are coming, but it's not finished lining itself up yet. But as this is going to be a 7, so 4 and 8, so 8, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, don't laugh at me, 52, 5 and 2 is 7, okay, so this is telling you you're going in the right direction, but we're not quite finished getting all the pre-show. Okay, so just hang in there with that a little bit longer. All right, so we've got, all right, so Laura Lou is back. How wonderful. All right, so that's for Steve. All right, Yin Wang, hello, Yin Wang. I am so happy you found me. That is so exciting to me. I believe I've been emailing with Yin. I'm so excited. How marvelous. All right, Yin, this card is number 7. Interesting, another 7 card. This is to the sea. Now, to the sea, again, we have the wisdom, discernment. We have the intelligence that, no, this is a cloudless sky. Everything is calm seas, that you're going in the right direction, my friend. Okay, so notice, right side up, first of all, calm seas. She's reading her book. The wind vane is going in the right direction. Telescope is behind her, going backwards. Nobody's paying any attention. She's just enjoying the journey. And so this very much to the sea is enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, which is exactly what we were saying earlier about these big heavy hitter planets that are moving around right now. So this is go with the flow, Yin. This is very much just allow things to continue to unfold. Know that you have this higher guidance that is the reversal of cameras drives me crazy. So know that you have this higher guidance that is really paying attention, is watching out for you. She's not worried about where she's going. You don't need to be worried about where you're going. Know that you are going in the right direction, and because you have a 7, you are going in the right direction, okay? So we see these numbers continue to go up. It tells us we're going to the right direction. We're going to the completion of that chapter, so you are absolutely just enjoy the ride right now. Enjoy the ride. All right, my cousin Jerry, who I adore. Steve says, makes sense. That's great. 10 isn't just 10, it's also 1. That is also true. All right, so we have my cousin Jerry, who I love. Oh, a jumpy card. All right, we do not discount jumpy cards because they hop out into, on the table, on the floor, into my hands for a reason. So this is card 18, which is 1, 8 is 9, okay? And so this tells us you're coming to the end of a chapter, love. You're coming to the end of some piece that has been, those pieces moving together, the cogs lining up. You're coming to the end of a journey there, and allow the serendipities. Okay, serendipity is, people say coincidence. I don't say coincidence. I personally, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe the serendipity is the universe trying to say, hey, go look, we're trying to show you this thing. So the universe is trying to get your attention. Allow these things to unfold for you. and know that you are absolutely going in the right direction. And as things are unfolding and literally wrapping up, as this is a 9 card, know that you have the luck of the green clover here that is saying, that is carrying you away, that there will be blessing, there will be abundance that's in it. Look, everything is floating up and away, that there's going to be blessing and abundance, and it all is happening exactly how it's supposed to be happening, okay? So hopefully that makes sense to you, my love. All right, Beth Boyd. All right. Beth Boyd. I had to tell you, my cousin Jerry was one of my most favorite human beings when I was a small child, and then we lost track of each other for very many years, and we have reconnected more recently, and it could not make my heart any happier, so I have to say that. So 18 is also the Hebrew number for life. That is true. That is the Chai number. See? Hello. There you are. So, all right. Yin Sangs, you are very welcome, my love. All right, Yin Sangs. Hi, Priscilla. Hi. You are very welcome, new friend Yin. All right, where am I? We are at Beth Boyd. There we are. Beth Boyd. Oh, I love this Beth Boyd. This is new life. And she's going, bow. Okay, this is new life. Okay, new life is 39, so 9, 10, 11, 12, and 12 is 3. So we know what we say about 3, right? I love the number 3 because 3 is a number of potential. I have something in my eye, which is not something of potential. Okay, so 3 is a number of potential to my mind. It has always been a number of potential. So Beth, we have 3. I always think about it like if you see a 3 from the side, it looks like this, right? But if you open it up like if it was a butterfly that you were seeing on a profile, and then you open it up, there's so much more to the story, okay? So I believe, and have always believed, that 3 is a number of potential, of infinite potential, that there's so much more to the story. So this is the card for new life. It is right side up. It is a number 3. So much more to the story, but this is reminding you that there are new ideas, new opportunities, new adventures that are waiting for you to help you go forward, and that you want to allow these things to unfold with joy and certainty that the universe is moving you in the right direction. This is a very reassuring card. This is very much the time to try new things and stretch those boundaries, right? We have been talking all afternoon that this is a time of growth, right? And so this is, look at all the light that is emanating out from her. She's like glowing like a beacon, and she's also at the top of the pedestal. She's already at the top of the heap, okay? So she's got, everything is flowing and going. It's all going her way. So this is a time for you to really reach out and say, well, if I knew I could not fail, what would I do? This is that moment, Beth Boyd, okay? This is that moment. If I really, what's the thing I really, really want? What if I knew if I could try it, swing on that trapeze? Like, know that you are safe and that you are being supported and loved, and that there's so much more in you and so much more for you than what you are maybe holding on to. There's more. We've got to be willing to come to the place where we are trusting the universe enough to leap. I remember a million years ago, living in Los Angeles, a group of friends, we took a trapeze experience, a trapeze class. And before the class was over, you had the opportunity to do a catch with the other guy, right? So the guy is hanging by his legs and you're hanging by your arms and you're supposed to like let go and leap. And now you've got the safety belts on, right? You know you're not going to hit the ground. There's a net. You're all good. But still, it's very scary to let go of something that we've held on to for a while, that we are now going to change directions and leap. It's a little bit scary, but this is what they're showing you, is right now is the time, because you have all the support and all the things, and all those big planets are lining up right now. Okay, so take some chances. Take some chances. All right, Krista Elder. Welcome, Krista Elder. That's a new name for us, for me. So let's see. Jerry loves me too. Hey, I look so much like, oh, Priscilla, that is the understatement of anybody who knows me. I am absolutely the spitting image of my father, but I take it as a compliment, and I take it as a compliment. So thank you, my friend. Yes, there is zero deniability in my family, for sure. So yeah, you know, I am my dad's daughter. I will take it. All right, so we have Krista Elder. So Krista, round and round. So this is another 7 card, right? 2 and 5, 25 card. This is another 7 card, which tells us we're trying to go in the right direction. We're going in the right direction, right? But round and round tells us we're missing something, right? We're not paying attention to something. And if you're looking, we've been talking about the face of discernment. It's in there. It's right in there, like the face of this is our higher guidance right in there. It's hiding. We're not seeing it enough. We're not paying attention to the signs from the universe. We keep coming back to the same places. We keep coming back to the places we're not getting enough traction. We're not getting the thing the universe is trying to get us to see. We're missing it. And so this really wants to take a second and say, Krista, zoom out. What are you missing, right? What is the place where you keep coming back to, well, why am I keep coming back to this? What am I missing? And it is important to ask the universe, what am I missing? What am I not getting that I keep having to come back to the same thing over and over again? What is it? But here's the other part of it. When we zoom out, we can see how far we've come, and then we can see, when we zoom out, we can see a little bit more of the picture of where we're trying to go. Okay, so Krista, this is asking you to get a little quiet, take some time, get a little clarity. What is it that I'm missing? What am I trying to do? Where am I trying to go? And one of the things that happens, we miss stuff a lot when we are not sure about where it is that we want to go. Okay, so we want to get a little clarity about what it is that we truly want. And remember, if you watch the beginning of the video, this is the time for that, to get organized, get clear, clean up the clutter, get really straight about where are we trying to go, because this is a time of universe expansion that is right on our doorstep right now. Okay, so you're not stuck, okay, but you're missing a piece. Okay, people keep saying, oh, it's round and round, you're stuck. I'm like, no, 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 you're not stuck. But you're missing the thing that you've got to grab onto, let go of, or turn away, like see from a different perspective to allow you to move forward. Okay? Now, here's one more thing about this. The universe would not be showing it to you if you did not have the capacity to embrace it. Okay? The universe does not show us things in the card and then say, well, you don't have the abilities to that one. Okay? So anything the universe is saying, you're missing something, you're not getting it, they wouldn't tell you that if you were not now in the place to grab it. Okay? The universe is not going to say, well, yeah, you're missing it, come back next time around. Okay? The universe is going to say, now it's time for you to see it from this bigger picture, because once we've gone around the circle a couple of times, we can say, wait a minute, I've been here before. You might not get it on the first time around, but you would not be shown this if you did not now have the capacity to grab it. Okay? All right. Okay. Priscilla, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. All right, Belinda says thank you. We got Kimmy said thank you. Ellen said thank you. Catherine said thank you. Laura Lou. All right, Laura Lou, and then we have Priscilla. Absolutely, Laura Lou. Card for Laura Lou, and I just do them in order. So if I mentioned your name, but it wasn't your turn for a card, I'm just scrolling through the comments and trying to do everything in order. Laura Lou, so nice to see you. We haven't seen you in a little while. This is Chop Wood. Again, this is going to be one of those clean up your own side of the streets cards, but Chop Wood also reminds you that you've got to be willing to get in there and roll up your sleeves and do your own work. Okay, we can't expect anyone else to do our work for us. Okay, I am absolutely in love with my husband. He's the most marvelous human being, and when he's home and he's not out working, because when he works he's away, so when he's home he's off, and one of the most marvelous things he does for me every morning is he makes coffee and brings it and puts it on my nightstand, so when I wake up in the morning there's coffee, it smells coffee, it's warm, it's so marvelous. What a lovely thing for somebody to do. And then he goes back to work and he's gone, and I have to get up, Laura Lou, and I have to make my own dang coffee. Okay, so this is about remembering that we are capable of making our own coffee, of doing our own work, and that really if you want coffee, you're going to have to get up and go get it. Okay, so it's lovely when someone else will do things for us, but we don't want to take advantage of that. We want to remember that we are capable, intelligent beings, and that we can, if we want the thing, we're going to have to get up out of bed and go make the coffee. Okay, so this card reminds you that if there's something you want, you have the ability that you're going to need to get up and go and get it. Okay, roll up the sleeves, clean up the the floor. This is going to be really important that if it's a thing that you want, only you really have the power to go and get it. Okay? Okay. All right, so all right, Priscilla tells me I look like my dad and then asks for a card. It's all good. Absolutely. I know I'm very, very fond of my dad's face. It's all good. All right, this card says happy, happy. This is happy, happy. This is 26, which is 8. 2 and 6 is 8. So this is great, Priscilla. You're on the right track. And look, you've got the discernment, higher guidance is right here in the egg of possibility. Okay, and all of the wonderful things are emanating out from her, and all of the colors of the rainbow are coming up. So this is telling you to trust your higher guidance. You're sitting on it. Trust that discernment. Trust the possibilities. You're sitting on it to receive, and it is flowing through you. Trust that the energy, the wisdom, the guidance, the things that you need, that you want, that you know, trust that those things are flowing through you, Priscilla. Trust that you are absolutely right where you're supposed to be at this very moment in time in the universe, and that all the possibilities are flowing right through you, straight up out, filled with light. Okay? So Laura Lou says, yes, I'm drinking my coffee, rolling up my sleeves. Absolutely. Okay. So Priscilla, this is the right time for you. Okay. This is the right time. So this is also a time of rebirth. Okay. We have the egg of possibility. It's a time of rebirth. So what is it that you have been wanting to mint into the world? What is it that you have been thinking about creating and welcoming and birthing into the new world, a new birth into the world? So right now, perfect timing. Perfect timing. Okay. All things are coming up for Priscilla. Okay. All right. We're going to pull one more card. We're going to pull one more card for everybody. But I always like to do one collective card at the end to make sure. So the first time I saw you posted him. Oh, yeah. Well, it was my parents just had their 60th wedding anniversary. So if you follow my personal page, which just forewarned can be very political. If you follow my personal page, I did just post. My parents just celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary just 3 days ago. So, and then we have Father's Day right after that. So it was really, so yeah, it was a great picture of my parents. Actually, that parent picture was taken at their 50th wedding anniversary. So it's really, it's very, very cool. So I remember when my grandparents had their 50th anniversary, I was in college. And when my grandparents had their 60th anniversary, I was pregnant with my son, who's 27 right now. So it's crazy how time goes, right? All right, so this is the card for everybody. I always, after we do all the individual cards, I like to bring it back together. I like to do one card for the collective to wrap it all up, okay? And so this card is upside down, but now we saw a lot. Woohoo for parents. Yep, absolutely. Especially mine. I'm very lucky. We saw the cards, a lot of fives, right? When we started together, we had a lot of fives, and then we have moved into, we saw some fives, we saw some sixes and sevens, right? Because we had Uriel talking about learning new things. We had No Peace Like Home. It was the 5 card. We had Here and Now was the 5 card, and then we had did I miss one? I think I missed one. We must have gotten out of order. Okay, so we had a lot of fives. And then now, here we are at the end of our time together. Ooh, jumpy. This is time, hilarious because it's time to go, is what the card says. But this is a 9 card. This is really confirmational that we are moving forward, okay? Like it or not, time's going to go on. Things are going to happen. Whether we are on board or not, things are going to happen. But we have an opportunity as connecting into our light, right? Just as Priscilla's card, Happy Happy, for us to stay connected into the light, for us to say things are going to happen. We can get stuck in the mud of it, or we can try to embrace the growth, which is not always easy. We can find the joy knowing that even when things are hard, because things are hard, that it is okay for us to laugh and to actively seek joy, to seek community, to seek connection, that these are the things that help us to grow and move forward as a society, as humans, as light workers. So it is time for us to go. It is time for us to let go of the things that we've been holding on to that are holding us back. Thank you. That was a leg up. Yep, I pulled it for somebody else as well. But this is telling us that we're on the right track. We are going in the right direction. It might not feel like it. Right now, woo, it is loud out there and it might not feel like it, okay? But it is through adversity that we grow, okay? When we look at every tragedy that has happened in the world and what positive, amazing growth, moving society forward things came from it. Do they last? Not always. Some things do, some things don't. We saw it with COVID, right? All the wildlife came back to the waters and the smog cleared and all these amazing things. Did it last? No, but some things will. Okay, some pieces of it did. Some things that came out of COVID, whether they were relationships, technology, Zoom came out of COVID. I mean, there are all kinds of things that come that are blessings that come as we struggle to push through and grow. And right now, we are struggling to push through and grow. Okay, the time to go is 45, so that's 9. Okay, so right now, as a collective, we are struggling to push through and grow. This is not easy. We have talked about these big mega planets that are moving. It's like boulders going around in heaven, right? They're moving. A lot of stuff is shifting. But this is also the time for us to get clear for our own selves what it is we want, because the time of manifestation is coming. Okay, and this is going to be the time of expansion, soul expansion, and really expanding humanity. But it is not going to come without cost, and it is not going to come without struggle. Okay. Now, manifestation in our own personal space does not necessarily have to come without struggle, but that's growth. Okay. And when we can remember that even the things that are so hard, that some part of it is happening to shift things to a better way. It makes it a little bit more, tiny bit more comfortable to grab onto. Okay? There's always going to be loss, there's always going to be suffering, and that is always going to suck. But if we know the continuity of spirit, the continuity of the soul, we will always be united with our loved ones. Our loved ones are always right here with us, and that the universe is trying to put us and move us forward in a way that is serving our highest good. So when we get the time to go card, it's not time to leave, it's not time to check out, it's trying to try something new, and it's time to trust that the path is there for you. The path is there for you to go forward on, okay? It's time to go forward. It's not just time to go. It's time to go forward, okay? And one of the things that happens, you know that at the end of the Indiana Jones movie where he steps off the, was it Last Crusade? And he steps, boom, and his foot lands on the thing, and you don't see the thing, and then you turn the camera and you can see the bridge, but you never see the bridge. And we got to trust that this is not just time to go. This is time to go forward, okay? Time to go forward, okay? And this is 4 and 5 is 9. Tells us we're coming to the end of what was. Okay? It's time for something new. And that's where we are. All right. And as you go forward with this week, I hope these cards help you, bless you, remind you, point you in the right directions. And just as you go forward, it is so important to know that you are not alone. You are valued, you are wanted, you are appreciated, you're needed, your contributions matter. Always remember how very much you are loved. Mwah. We'll see you next week.